Hey, what is up, mortals? Welcome to Part 7 Season 1. Just wanted to greet you guys by just saying sit back and relax, you're in for a treat, and so we begin. Shigaraki appeared in a warehouse as the dark liquid dissipated. Shigaraki knew this was the hideout of his master, the symbol of evil all for one. A deep raspy voice echoed from the shadows. So you failed to kill All Might Tamura Shigaraki, and you managed to get yourself and your allies captured by the authorities. How sad and disappointing. The voice of All for One echoed throughout the large warehouse. It seemed to come from everywhere. But do not get discouraged, Tamura. This is just the first level of your game. Try and fail as many times as you need. After all, this is all for you. As All for One's words hung in the air, another patch of dark liquid filled the air next to Shigaraki. It was Kurogiri. It seems that the master had plans for the rap villain. Kurogiri, take us home. I have a lot to think about. Yes, Tamura Shigaraki. And with that simple exchange, Kurogiri activated a rap gate and the two villains disappeared. A few days later, Principal Nezu and All Might have a meeting with Detective Tsukachi. All Might and Nezu, sirs, I wanted to let you know that I have finished interviewing the students and staff about the USJ incident. That is good to hear. Now the students can focus on their preparations for the sports festival. About that, sir, do you think it is wise to hold such a large event after the attack? And the fact that both Shigaraki and Kurogiri escaped custody. Isn't likely that they or someone else could attack the sports festival. Your concerns are valid, Detective. But the sports festival is an event that the whole country looks forward to. The risk of canceling it is greater than holding it. The attack on the USJ has left people wondering if the school is safe for our students. Canceling the festival now could reinforce that fear and undermine superhuman society. Nezu is right, Tsukachi. The staff all felt that it is important to show strength after an attack. But we are not blind to the danger. In accordance, security will be increased, and pro-heroes will be enlisted for extra support. With that statement from the principal, the meeting ended. Since dedicating himself more fully to being the homeroom teacher of Class 1A, All Might had been putting his student through very harsh training. Man, if All Might trained like this every day, no wonder he became number 1. Right, I have never been this beat in my life. Hey guys, how is everything going? Hey Midoriya, I haven't seen Aizawa for the past few days in training. What's up with that? He told me that All Might called in a special trainer to help him develop his quirk. Mina Ashido heard this and perked up from her slumped possession on the ground. A nosy busybody like her could not resist a juicy piece of gossip, no matter how tired she was. Really, who is it? Someone famous? The pink-haired girl asked these questions with a squill. Yeah, tell us. Who is it? Midoriya was surprised by both Ashido's and Toru Hagakura's interest in the subject. I wish I could tell you. All Aizawa told me was that the trainer forbade him from telling anyone. Even me, who he is. Even All Might would not tell me. Ah, that's no fun. I really want to know. If you have enough energy left to gossip, Ashido, then you can train harder. Aizawa glared at the pink-haired girl with a cold stare. Eck, what an icy stare. Where did you come from, Aizawa? You have a lot of nerve seeking up on people like some perverse ninja. Ninjas were effective because they were sneaky. So, I take that as a compliment. After all, do you think that the villains will walk up and announce themselves before attacking you, Ashido? As heroes, we must always be ready for the unexpected. The pink-haired girl sat stewing from Aizawa's comments. Hey Aizawa, is it true that you can't tell anybody who this trainer that All Might got for you is? It is. I don't really know his reason for it, but I will respect his wishes. At that comment, the other students let the matter be. Hey Midoriya, can I speak to you for a moment? Sure. The green-haired boy followed Aizawa outside, away from the prying ears of certain female classmates. I wanted to ask how everything is going with your training. Are you getting a better handle on One for All? Yeah, All Might has been pushing me hard, but I would rather show you the results of my training at the festival. That does seem like the most rational choice. Actions show more than words ever could. Very well, I will wait until the festival to show you my improvements too. Aizawa and Midoriya looked directly into each other's eyes as a silent pledge passed between them. So, I haven't been around lately. How are our classmates doing? At that question, Midoriya went into a legendary ramble. He covered everything going on with the rest of the class. He explained how All Might customized the training of each member of Class 1A to strengthen their bodies and to improve their quirk usage. The green teen also explained that some class members were having a hard time adjusting to the strict standards that All Might imposed. Aizawa knew that most people would not be able to follow Midoriya in one of these rants. The speed at which the teen talked and the amount of information he could articulate was scary to say the least. But Aizawa had been exposed to enough of Midoriya's tirades that he could keep up. That sounds promising. It is good that our class is progressing so quickly. We will need all of the training we can get to hold our own against the members of Class 1B. And the other students taking aim at us. The boys remember the event from a couple of days before. A crowd had gathered outside of the 1A classroom. They had gathered there to check out the class that survived and foiled a villain attack. The event had ended with several members of the crowd making declarations of war and Bakugo managing to tick off an already angry group. While several members of Class 1A were angry at Bakugo for making the class a target, Aizawa was not. To his rational mind, Bakugo had just verbalized what was already apparent. Class 1A had been singled out by the rest of the school as something special. That meant that the other students would be aiming to climb to the top by appending Class 1A's standing. Aizawa knew that this just meant that he and his class would have to work even harder. Aizawa's mind came out of that flashback to the present. The shaggy-haired teen turned to his friend with a quizzical look in his dark eyes. The mention of the pink-cheeked girl made Midoriya's face turn a bright scarlet and sweat started to run down his forehead. Aizawa thought again just how irrational these two were. He also wondered how two individuals that are so transparent with their emotions could be so criminally unaware of how the other felt. But then again, the two had not known each other that long either. Still, the irrationality of it still bothered Aizawa. Well, it's just she is my friend, you know. And I want her to succeed in her goals. Because of her situation. Aizawa recalled the conversation with the brunette. Shortly after hearing about the sports festival, the usually laid-back Uraraka had taken on an aura of determination that was a little scary. This display led Midoriya to ask Uraraka why she wanted to be a hero. The answer surprised both Midoriya and Aizawa. She wanted to be a hero to get rich. The brunette went on to explain that her family had always struggled with money. Her goal was to become a famous hero so her parents could live an easy life. On the surface, this goal seemed very unheroic, even though Aizawa knew that many individuals became heroes for that very reason. But the reason for this was very heroic. Wanting to help and support others is one of the core tenets of heroism, as far as Aizawa was concerned. These thoughts of Uraraka made Aizawa think of both Midoriya and Bakugo. While the three teens were very different in their motivations, the three did share the fact that they were very transparent about their goals to become the best heroes that they could. Midoriya wanted to keep people safe. Bakugo wanted to beat villains. Uraraka wanted to help people. But Aizawa knew that his classmates' goals were very idealistic. He knew firsthand that the world could be an unfair and irrational place. While these goals and drives were fine for a school setting, they would most likely be shattered by the world before long. With the way things were going for his class, the dark-haired boy figured that it would be sooner than later. These thoughts recalled one name in Aizawa's head. The word rang clear like a bell. That name was Oboro. Aizawa quickly buried that thought in the back of his mind. The teen knew where that train led nowhere good. All Might pushed his students hard in their training in the weeks leading up to the festival. Finally, the day arrived. Class 1A had changed into their gym uniforms and gathered in the waiting room. "Aw man, I was hoping I could wear my costume. It is a real bummer having to wear my gym uniform." They probably did it this way so the other course would have a more level playing field. That is what makes the most rational sense. So, stop whining, Ishido. Man, do you always have to be so serious? You are such a buzzkill, Aizawa. This comedic exchange continued with some of the other students coming to either Ishido's or Aizawa's. The exchange stopped when Todoroki got up from his chair and walked toward Midoriya. "Midoriya, I think that it is fair to say that at this point in our training that I am stronger than you. But you have been getting more attention because your quirk is like All Might's. I plan to use this competition to show my strength." The bicolored teen turned to head for the door when Midoriya spoke. "Todoroki, of course, you are better than me. I have so much left to learn, but I plan to win this festival. That way I can show all of those who believed in me how much I have grown. So right back at you. I will bring everything I have to win." The declaration of war between the two boys energized their classmates. They all had worked very hard since starting UA. They too wanted to show how much they had improved. This festival was the best time to do that. All the first-year students entered the arena to thunderous applause. They all lined up on the field. It was then that they saw who the referee for their year would be, the R-rated hero Midnight. Midnight announced the order of events with an enthusiastic tone and explicit manner of speech that caused many of the students to cringe. Aizawa was one of these individuals. He could tell that many of his classmates had the same feeling. On top of that, her suggestive costume was not helping the situation. "All right, now we have the first-year pledge. The student that will deliver it is Izuku Midoriya." Momo Yaoyorozu was in line behind Aizawa. The dark-haired teen turned his head back to ask the tall girl a question. "Yaoyorozu, why is Midoriya giving the introduction alone? I was sure they would have had both him and Bakugo given it, since they both tied for first place on the hero exam entrance test." The dark-haired girl had a pensive look on her face. "Well, you see, Aizawa, the principal and All Might came to me and Ida since we are the class representatives. He asked us to choose who would deliver the speech since both Midoriya and Bakugo had tied for first place. Me and Ida decided that it would be best if Midoriya did it. More than likely Bakugo would have said something that would have enraged everyone." Aizawa could not deny the girl's logic. Bakugo had a natural gift of ticking people off. The decision was the most rational one. Midoriya stood on the stage in a state of petrifaction. Hilajiro Kirishima responded to the scene. Hey, I didn't know Midoriya had a quirk like mine. He doesn't. Public speaking isn't one of Midoriya's strengths. The green teen cleared his throat and began his impromptu speech. I just wanted to say that we have all come to UA to become heroes. We have trained hard to get to this point. While we still have a way to go, we all came here to show how much we have grown over the past months. Each of us has taken a different path, guided by the excellent UA staff. Midoriya then turned to the assembled students. With that in mind, let's show everyone here and all of those watching at home what it means to be a UA student. Let's all go beyond. Plus, Ultra. The crowd and gathered students were stunned. But a moment later, everyone burst into riotous cheering. Meanwhile, Inko Midoriya was sitting in her apartment watching the festival on television. After hearing her son's words, she burst into a river of tears. My baby, you're so grown up. But please, son, try not to get hurt. Aizawa was impressed. Midoriya had managed to fire up the audience and stoke the competitive spirit of his fellow students. Aizawa could see that the other students around him were now more ready than ever to start the competition. Midoriya stepped down from the stage and midnight resumed. Such moving words and youthful passion. Emotions that only someone in the springtime of their youth could convey. All that unbridled desire really turns me on. Let's get started. Midget snapped the whip in her hand. She used it to point to the big screen in the stadium. The screen showed a revolving icon that had many events listed. The icon landed on the obstacle course event. The first event will be the obstacle course race. I hope you are as excited as I am. And with that, the sports festival had officially begun. Elsewhere, a dark room was illuminated only by the blue light of a computer screen. The light revealed the irritated face of Tamura Shigaraki. He sat watching the sport festival proceedings. As he watched the proceedings, the annoyance he felt at the sight of the kids that had foiled his plans made him start to scratch at the raw skin of his neck. Tamura, what do you see in these children? They're nothing but annoying kids. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the story thus far. Hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes deep into the facts and lore of a wide variety of anime. It's sure to expand your weeb knowledge for all kinds of series guaranteed. On top of that, we have a third channel called We The Celestials Naruto What Ifs. It's what we do on this channel already, but in the vast world and lore of Naruto. Go check it out if you're in the mood for some jutsu action. I'd like to let you all know, on behalf of We The Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. If you're perhaps interested in what we do here at WTC, then I would like to extend out an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being we only accept members 16 and older to join our crew. You can find us on our Discord, which you can locate in the description below. Our Discord is an all-around fantastic place to be. Whether you're a fan or looking to join our band of misfits, all you gotta do is hit up the recruitment server and sign up for whichever category of work that fulfills your interest. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching and have a great day.